viewers to our continuing saga of Manimekle. In Chapter 1, Part 3, The Tragic Journey, we witness how a single moment of doubt can change the course of many lives. Today's story follows Kovalan and Kannaki as they leave behind their life of luxury in Kaveripatnam, venturing into the unknown wilderness toward the distant city of Madura. Their journey, filled with hardships and revelations, marks the beginning of a tragic tale that would become legendary across the Tamil kingdoms. The fateful quarrel that would change everything began like any other day in Kaveripatnam. After years of living together, Kovalan and Madhuri had settled into what seemed like an unshakable bond. Yet beneath the surface, doubts had begun to stir in both their hearts. Perhaps it was the whispers of others, or simply the weight of time, but suspicions about each other's faithfulness grew until they could no longer be contained. The argument that erupted between them was like a sudden storm breaking over calm waters. Words were exchanged that could never be taken back, accusations that cut deep into both their hearts. Despite their years of devotion, despite their daughter Manimekle, the trust they had built crumbled like a sand castle before the rising tide. With a heavy heart and wounded pride, Kovalan turned his back on the life he had built with Madhuri. His return to his ancestral home was like that of a ship seeking harbor after a violent storm. Kannaki, who had maintained their home all these years like a ever-burning lamp of hope, welcomed him without a word of reproach. Her voice, soft and loving as it had always been, washed over him like a healing balm. Standing before this woman he had neglected for so long, Kovalan felt the full weight of his shame and remorse. In halting words, he tried to express his regret, his voice thick with emotion as he acknowledged the years of pain he must have caused her. But Kannaki's response showed the true depths of her character. Rather than dwelling on past hurts, she focused on their future. Misunderstanding the source of his distress, she thought he was merely worried about having spent all his wealth. With touching generosity, she offered him her most precious possession, a pair of golden anklets given to her by her father. This selfless act of love struck Kovalan to his core. Here was his wife, whom he had abandoned for years, not only forgiving him but offering up her last valuable possession to help him start anew. The contrast between his own actions and her unwavering devotion was almost too much to bear. In that moment, he vowed never to leave her side again. Yet the thought of remaining in Kaveripatnam, where every street held memories of his past mistakes and where everyone knew of his squandered fortune, became unbearable. The weight of shame and the desire for a fresh start led him to propose a bold plan. They would leave for Madura, a distant city where nobody knew them, where he could rebuild their fortune using the value of Kannaki's anklets as capital. Kannaki, ever supportive, agreed without hesitation. In the dead of night, like thieves fleeing from justice, they slipped away from their ancestral home. There were no tearful goodbyes, no farewell messages, only the silence of the sleeping city as they made their way toward an uncertain future. The journey that lay before them was far from easy. The path between Kaveripatnam and Madura stretched through wild and dangerous territory. For Kovalan and Kannaki, raised in luxury and unused to physical hardship, every step was a challenge. The burning sun above and the rough ground beneath tested their resolve with each passing mile. They traversed dense jungles where wild beasts roamed, crossed streams swollen with recent rains, and pushed through thorny undergrowth that tore at their fine clothes. For Kannaki, who had never stepped outside the comfort of her home city, each day brought new trials. Yet she bore every hardship with quiet dignity, never once complaining about the dramatic change in her circumstances. As they approached Srirangam, they faced one of their biggest challenges, crossing the mighty Kaveri River. The same river that had brought prosperity to their hometown now stood as a formidable barrier in their path. With the help of local boatmen, they managed to cross safely, but the experience served as a powerful reminder of how far they had come from their privileged past. It was near this point in their journey that fate delivered one final test of Kovalan's resolve. A Brahman messenger, sent by Madhuri, caught up with them. He carried a letter in which Madhuri poured out her heart, expressing her deep love for Kovalan and begging him to return. The messenger also brought news that tore at Kovalan's heart. His parents were grief-stricken at his sudden disappearance. Standing there on the road to Madura, with his past calling him back through Madhuri's heartfelt words and his present embodied in Kannaki's patient presence beside him, Kovalan faced his moment of truth. With a steady hand, he wrote his replies, one to Madhuri explaining his reasons for leaving, another to his parents asking for their understanding. Then, with a firmness that surprised even himself, he turned his back on Kaveripatnam for the final time. As they continued their journey with some fellow travelers they had met along the way, neither Kovalan nor Kannaki could have known that every step was taking them closer not to a new beginning, but to a destiny that would transform them into legends. And so concludes the third part of our tale, but the most dramatic events are yet to come. In our next episode, we'll witness the tragic events that unfold in Madura, where a simple misunderstanding will lead to consequences that will shake the very foundations of a kingdom. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more epic tales from ancient Tamil literature. Hit that notification bell to stay updated on the next chapter of this unforgettable story. Until then, remember that sometimes the hardest journeys lead to the most profound destinies.